You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and first-timer on Ron Siegel Radio. Cappi Pidwell is here to educate us this morning. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And, of course, we celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. So here is the celebrations of the day, and you know something, on almost every one of them, I am a big, big fan. Because there's one, this one doesn't excite me. It is National Rat Catchers Day. Not an exciting one for me. But hey, you know something? The other ones, they make up for it because we can start off, go to the National Hammock Day. I can deal with a National Hammock. National Hot Dog Day, I would have thought that would have been July 4th with Nathan's hot dog eating contest. And anything that has to do with fudge, today is National Panache Fudge Day. I'll go with that one, being that I have beaten anorexia. I will stick right there with a nice piece of fudge. We're getting fudge at this time of the year. I have a friend of mine that makes great, great fudge, and she tells me that nobody has fudge in the summer. That's a winter product. Okay, my point, if it's there, I'm ready to eat it. It's just pretty simple. I'm not that picky. Let's take a look at what the markets are doing today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 54 points as we speak right now. The NASDAQ, it's only up 0.66. Big surprise right there because, as we know, the NASDAQ only goes up, or at least that's the way it's seen for quite some time. S&P 500 up 5.46. And so the markets are pretty flat right now. U.S. 10-year Treasury down about 1.5 basis points. 0.587 is the yield right there. So that's going to tell us that interest rates, well, the money's moving out of the stock market. Maybe a little bit of fear right there because the markets have been going straight up. Markets don't generally go straight up. But basically what happens here, and I'm going to share this with you because I have watched the markets. I have invested in the markets almost 45 years. I shouldn't be saying that because it's a giveaway that I'm old. But here's the issue. What the markets like to do, and it's gone on this way forever, they suck you in, right? When the stock market and stock market tips become the conversation at the water cooler if you go to an office, or at the outdoor eating as we might do this year, whatever you're doing, when stock tips become the issue, beware, the bottom is coming. If they're going to pull the bottom right out, that's the big investors, pull the bottom out from under you. It is coming. When will that happen? Well, if I knew that, I would be shorting the market and I'd be ultra wealthy. I might even have enough for my wife. But we just don't know when that's going to come. So just a word to the wise, if you're a listener to Ron Siegel Radio, be careful when the market keeps going like this. It is a signal of disaster for many, many people. So what else is going on in the market today? We're going to check that out. What's going on in the world today? I saw this article, and it was a fearful one, but it does not surprise me. I don't know if you saw this in Forbes magazine today. Actually, I guess it was yesterday. Forbes came out and said there will be 4,000 colleges that go out of business and never come back. 4,000 colleges. Can you believe that? Oh! That's painful. I'm going to share with you, it doesn't surprise me because colleges have gotten so expensive where people right now, and do you really want to spend, I've got a niece getting ready to go to college. And I'm not going to say where she's going to college because that would not be correct. I shouldn't say it would be correct, but it wouldn't be right of me to do that. But here's the issue. Do you really want to spend $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 to send your child to to put your child in college, because you're not going to send them there because a lot of the states aren't opening their colleges. So they get to go on a $15 Zoom call, right? We're using StreamYard this morning, but you can get a plan on Zoom for $15 a month, and they're going to charge $50,000, $40,000. Really? They've gotten so expensive. Think about the relationship. When I was in college 150 years ago, Chapman College, they weren't a university at the time, the decision I had to make was, do I want to go to Chapman College or do I want to go to USC? I was accepted to both. My accountant at the time said to me, Ron, if you go to USC, you're going to be in a class with probably 200, 300 people. Will you get up and ask a question to the professor in a class of 200 or 300? And I said, absolutely not. There's no way in the world I am getting up. I might even show up, but that's a big issue. Not something that I am going to do, right? Oh, my guys are a little quiet.
Bad feeling about this.
Bad feeling about it. Now, he said, if you go to Chapman College, at the time, Chapman College had a whopping total undergraduate population of about 1,800 people. Now, the high school near my house has double that, but the college had 1,800 people. He said, if you're in a class with 6 people, do you think you'll have a problem chatting with the professor? I said, maybe, but 6 I can handle, 300, I'm an introvert. I don't like getting up in front of talking in front of anybody, although I do it obviously for a living now, but I didn't like it at that time, right? That $50,000 to go into a class of 300 where you can't talk to a professor, you don't get to know anybody. I could tell you this, at my graduation from Chapman, the dean of the School of Business, he became dean while I was there, he became president after that and grew Chapman to a university, a major facility. But Jim Doty was at my parents' house for my college graduation party. How do you think that the president of USC would have been at my parents' house for a graduation party? Not without an 8-figure donation. But that's just the way it is, right? So it doesn't surprise me that we're going to see 4,000 schools going out of business. There's going to be a new way of educating young people. I submit it may be better. We'll find out. But from a standpoint of security and the things that are going on, especially in Calizuela, right? We see things going on here that's scary. You look and see what's going on. I just pulled up a report on what was going on in Chicago. Now think about this one, because Chicago, a beautiful town. I used to have an office in Chicago. And you've got some people that are just in a different world. I think they live in a different sense of reality. So let me give you some numbers you're not going to hear in the mainstream media. 2016, 4 years ago, Chicago, 354 murders in the city of Chicago, 2,132 shootings. Now, this is the number that the media doesn't want you to know. Remember that number, 354. In 2020, and we're only halfway through, there have been 373 murders in the city. And what does their mayor say about this? Because it's part of what's going to be going on as far as business around, real estate around. The mayor came out, and here's her quote: "We can make sure that we close the gun show loophole. We could pass universal background checks. We could make sure that people that aren't allowed to fly don't get guns. These are simple things that could happen if the president is serious about helping us with the violence. And the thing that he can do is stop the flow of illegal guns in our city, unquote. Really. Now, they've got the strongest gun laws in the world, or amongst them, in Chicago. Hasn't worked. Let me ask you a simple question, and then we'll move on. How many crooks, criminals, and people that are shooting do you think follow the law? Right? It's pretty simple. You can't create a law. I had a debate with somebody recently, and they said that we need more gun laws. And I said, okay, well, when we have a mass shooting, why don't we just put a law on the books that says it's illegal for mass shootings? Do you think that'll solve the problem? Criminals don't follow the law. Sorry to tell you that. But it is what it is. I share that with you on a regular basis. That's why you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio. Now, how is that going to affect your city? Well, do you want to buy real estate in Portland right now? Do you want to buy real estate in Seattle right now? Do you want to buy real estate in certain parts of Chicago right now? Do you want to open a business in those areas?
It is what it is.
Right? We got to think about those things, and that's what drives what's going on in our economy right now. But we're going to be watching all of that for you. We're going to talk today. We've got some great business mindset information coming your way. Do I know it? No, but I'm going to learn with you. That's one of the fun parts of my job. 2 reasons we won't see a rush of foreclosures this fall, and some hunting websites to find a home. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694552.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel Radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage or the first mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products for you. Just go to the site, mysocallender.com, mysocallender.com. Dow Jones Industrial Average now up 91.9. The NASDAQ is up 24.88. S&P 500 up 6.32. More 10-year Treasury down 1 basis point. Mortgage bonds are up, which means interest rates are down. That's all found on google.com. Why do you listen to Ron Siegel Radio? It's because I'm going to tell you why all of that is happening, and I'm going to tell you some of the information that the media does not want you to know. So, tensions between the United States and China escalating this morning after the U.S. State Department ordered China to close its consulate in Houston. We saw how that went. And I know every once in a while the president does chime into our broadcast. So when we talk, especially when we talk about China, he tends to get involved here. So we're going to, hopefully he doesn't interrupt me too much. China! Yeah, oh, there he is again. So we've got this escalation of problems. The move was made to protect American intellectual property and the private information of the citizens. China condemned the decision and vowed retaliation if the decision is not overturned. Earlier this morning, Mortgage Bankers Association released their mortgage application data for last week, showing that overall application volume was up 4.1% from the previous week. Purchases were up 1.8%, and on a year-over-year basis are now 19.4% higher. Refinances up 5.3% last week and are now up 122% year over year. Refinances are 64.8% of all transactions, up from 64.2% last week. Interest rates slightly better from increased, it shows, according to the Mortgage Bankers, from 3.19 to 3.2. Still about 7/8 lower than they were last year this time. Fannie Mae chief economist Doug Duncan estimates that at today's rate, 60% of homeowners with a mortgage could still benefit from a refinance and save at least 0.5%. Big number right there. Here's the misleading information that I will tell you about. FHFA, that's the Federal Housing Finance Agency, released their house price index, which measures home price appreciation on single-family homes with conforming loan amounts. Home prices fell 0.3% in May, but are still up 4.9% year over year. The 4.9% year over year reading is a bit lower than the 5.5% in April and 5.9% in March. Why is that misleading? Well, they're using median home prices, and they use it because it's a good, stable number. But they're also going to go through and say that a huge percentage of those people that are buying homes right now are first-time home buyers. What do first-time home buyers generally buy? Well, they buy the entry-level properties, the cheaper properties. When you're using a median, you have to have half the purchases above that number, half below it. So the median number is skewed based on which part of the population you're actually dealing with. So just some information there. And remember, all these numbers that I'm giving you, these are national numbers. They are not dealing with the local numbers. You need to go to a local realtor to find out what your real local numbers are, because, again, they're not going to be the same. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. So it is time to, I should get that Mr. Rogers Learning Time soundbite in here, guys, because I get to learn this morning. Cappi Pidwell is with us. She's going to talk to us a little bit about mindset for business. And I don't know. I've been doing business for a long time. Most people say I'm out of my mind, but maybe I can learn something new. Good morning, Cappi.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you being here. So what are we talking about? Mindset for business. And I guess I should give some of your credentials, because master NLP hypnotherapy. So I'm going to watch for any stopwatches or anything like that. And I'm a big believer. Actually, I went for hypnotherapy probably 40 years ago for weight benefits. And some of the items that they taught me or influenced me with, I still find benefit from them this 35 years later. Mm-hmm. So tell me about mindset for business.
Yeah, I can do that. So I am in sales. I'm a coach. I'm a speaker. And my background is in real estate. So I was a title rep. I was a residential real estate. And today I've coached thousands of companies and professionals to increase their results. And the one thing that I learned about my business was traditionally we're focused on what I call the outer game, the how-tos, how to get listings, how to make sales, how to market. But a lot of people are very unaware of how to program their mindset. And I say we spend so much time today, on our cell phones and learning things, but people don't realize how powerful their subconscious mind is. So the internal talk speaks to us at up to 500 words a minute. And most people really don't understand that their thoughts produce their feelings, their outcome, their results, their actions or inactions. And so I started studying mindset in my own personal life almost 30 years ago. And I didn't go for sales or to increase my income or anything. I was going for stress, kind of like we went for weight reduction. Most people come to somebody like me as a last resort, and it's typically the thing that works the fastest. So when people throw that word around mindset, how many books are out there on thinking positive? There's trillions. But to master your mindset, you really have to understand that your subconscious drives every single decision you make. And your subconscious is a million times more effective as an information processor than your logical mind. But because we're not taught to leverage it and utilize that part of us, most people are on autopilot, doing the same thing over and over again, trying to get different results.
So how do we talk to our mindset? I mean, I actually have seen some apps out there that are subliminal apps. Mm-hmm. So you just turn them on your computer and it sits there and runs in the background. And while you're sitting there on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, this thing's going on there. Is that what the type of thing you're talking about?
Well, there's a difference between hypnosis, hypnotherapy, and stuff like that. So a lot of times people go, oh, meditation and hypnosis, and they kind of throw it in the same pile. It's not. Hypnosis is basically, I'm going to give you the nutshell version, okay? So everybody that's listening, if you think of a circle, okay, in your mind, and you pie out 5 to 10% of that circle, 5 to 10% of our mind is our conscious logical mind. That's our thinking mind, where most people are living and trying to go to sleep at night, and they don't know how to turn that mind, that chatter off, right? The other 90% of that circle is your subconscious mind. So when we put data into the subconscious, think of it like a computer, a hard drive. Most people have a full hard drive, if you will, when they're in their adult life. So they're operating or thinking out of old belief systems. So when you do something subliminal, or people call me all the time, like, I've tried this, I've done this. Well, there is a way to reprogram the subconscious. So subliminal stuff is nice. However, if you want to get specific results, if you work with somebody that knows how to upgrade the mind, if you will, or put new apps in there, if you will, new data into the subconscious, it changes the way somebody begins to think and feel about something. So I can take somebody who hates picking up the phone, or isn't comfortable selling something, or doesn't, whatever their challenge is. And as you know, I'm the in-house results coach at Realty Pro 100. And I write all the training programs there, and I'm creating all the strategies for the company. So the results are produced way faster than the average trainer on setting your goals or just dealing with the 5 to 10% of the mind. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I leverage the subconscious. So in addition to the conscious, so there's always education first, and then the application. So subliminal stuff is nice. It's not for specific outcomes. So it might make you feel relaxed, but I'm very into results.
Okay, so
does that make sense?
Put in that subliminal thing that, I want to stop playing on Instagram. That's not going to help me get that result.
No, not at all.
Now, do I have to know what I'm doing to get the results that you're talking about? Like if you come in here and you're I don't know if the right term is programming me to go out and sell real estate. If I don't know anything about real estate, can you still make that work for me?
No. There's no magic wand involved here. Basically, if the subconscious is a million times more effective as an information processor, and somebody comes to me and they go, hey, I've tried this, I've read books, I really need new outcomes, and for some reason, Cappi, I can't hit that number, or I can't make that money. And that's one of my specialties, is helping people increase their income very rapidly. I do it for individuals and I do it for companies. So the mind has a thermometer. It has belief systems in the subconscious. So based on whatever you believe, you're going to think and produce those types of results. So somebody says, I've had people come to me and say, oh, can you, hypnotize my husband to do this, or my, child to do their homework? No, you have to be the one that says, hey, I'm getting stuck in my old beliefs, my programs, and I don't personally have the outcomes I want. Here's the outcome I want to accomplish. You have to want it. Nobody can make you do anything. So when people make all those jokes with, oh, you're going to hypnotize me, I often laugh and say, I'm not here to make you do anything. You're the manager of your mind. I just have the tools to get you there.
That's great information. I want to hear more about how the increase our outcomes. What do you think about increasing the outcome? Whatever you're doing, if you're a plumber, if you're a realtor, if you're a CPA, lawyer. When we come back, we're going to see if we can get a little more in depth with Cappi Pidwell on outcomes I want, how to accomplish those. And we're going to also chat a little bit, maybe a lot of it, 2 reasons we won't see a rush of foreclosures this fall, and some house hunting websites, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And again, if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. you still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest, SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Again, SLT Home Digest. 2 reasons we won't see a rush of foreclosures this fall. The health crisis we face as a country has led businesses all over the nation to reduce or discontinue their services altogether. This pause in the economy has greatly impacted the workforce. And as a result, many people have been laid off or furloughed. Naturally, that would lead many to believe we might see a rush of foreclosures like we saw in 2008. The market today, however, is very different from 2008. The concern of more foreclosures based on those that are out of work is one that we need to understand fully. There are 2 reasons we won't see a rush of foreclosures this fall: forbearance extension options and strong homeowner equity. Number 1, forbearance extension. Forbearance, according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, is, quote, when your mortgage servicer or lender allows you to temporarily pay your mortgage at a lower payment or pause paying your mortgage, unquote. This is an option for those who need immediate relief. In today's economy, the CFPB has given homeowners a way to extend their forbearance, which will greatly assist those families who need it at this critical time. Under the CARES Act, the CFPB notes, I quote, if you experience financial hardship due to the coronavirus pandemic, you have a right to request and obtain a forbearance for up to 180 days. You also have the right to request and obtain an extension for up to another 180 days, for a total of 360 days. For those of you counting, that is about 1 year. Strong home ownership equity is number 2. Equity is also working in favor of today's homeowners. The savings is another reason why we won't see substantial foreclosures in the near future. Today's homeowners who are in forbearance actually have more equity in their homes than what the market experienced just a couple of years ago when many people experienced 2008. The Mortgage Monitor report from Black Knight indicates that of all active forbearances which are past due on their mortgage payment, 77% have at least 20% equity in their homes. And we've got that on a graph. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, you'll see that, or any of our social channels. Black Knight notes, quote, the high level of equity provides options for homeowners, policymakers, mortgage investors, and servicers in helping to avoid downstream foreclosure activity and default-related losses, unquote. Bottom line, many think we may see a rush of foreclosures this fall, but the facts just don't add up in this case. Today's real estate market is very different from 2008 when we saw many homeowners walk away when they owed more than their homes were worth. This time, equity is stronger and plans are in place to help those affected weather the storm. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment, again brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. SLT Home Digest 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. We are speaking this morning with Cappi Pidwell, who's educating us this morning. And I've got some of Cappi's information. Should be scrolling along the bottom of the screen any moment now. But we're learning about mindset, how to get the outcomes we want. And, you know, it's Cappi, from what you said earlier, it almost sounds, you know, I'm a sports junkie, although I'm kind of moving away from that now with all of the politicization of sports and athletics. But you watch athletes, the premier athletes, and they have to do a lot of training to get to the level that they are. And you're talking here, from what I'm understanding, about just basically doing training or getting professional guidance to achieve the outcome we want. How do we do that? Give us a little education here.
Well, you're absolutely right. Any top athlete or professional is very into training their mindset to accomplish the level of success they get. I want to backtrack for just a second and talk and tap on that conversation you were just talking about with all the equity. As you know, part of the strategy inside Realty Pro 100 is I do events there with Blake and the owners of the company. And one of the things we're teaching the community and the agents as well is how to leverage your equity and how to make money on the money you're sitting on and not leveraging. So our next event is August 11th at 4, and we do that on Zoom. So I would invite people that want to learn more about how to leverage that equity and move that money to make more money to join us. So my goal in helping people achieve financial success is certainly through their own mindset. That's number one for me, but then finding the strategies and the solutions that work for them. So I just wanted to mention that because it's really important for people to understand. There's a lot of good information today on how to make money on your money.
Back up a second there, Cappi. You said August 11th at what time?
At 4 p.m.
Okay.
And we do that on Zoom. It's an hour long.
Great. We'll make sure we get some information on that up on the Ron Siegel Radio site. So those of you that are driving and don't remember, or I probably couldn't remember the Zoom link if I had to, because it's probably going to be about 80 characters long. So we'll get that on the site, and so that people can find that as well.
Thank you for that. So,
Awesome.
Getting back to our focus on outcome, right? So one of the things I coach people on and tell my clients and my audiences is that what typically happens for a person is they want 10 things, right? Because I know how the mind works, what I tell people is pick one outcome that you want to focus on, let's say for the next 30 days. So that could be weight reduction. It could be increasing your sales. It could be getting more confident, closing better, making more money, tripling your sales, whatever it is. And then my next question to that person is, what do you believe about the outcome? So step one, pick one, not 10, but it's the system behind it. So if, let's say, somebody says, Cappi, I want to make $1 million. And then I say, well, what do you believe about that? And they go, oh, I believe it's going to be hard. I believe it's impossible, or I believe it's easy. Your beliefs drive your 32,000 decisions you make every single day. So the average thinker is thinking thoughts, and 80% of those thoughts are typically on the things they don't want. So our beliefs align us with our outcomes. So if I can help a person begin to believe something different about that amount of money or that outcome, the change is way faster than me saying, oh, think positive about that $1 million or visualize it. Because it's kind of a conflict. People have the outcome, but they often don't believe it's possible. So you can apply that to any outcome you want. So pick your outcome and then identify what you believe about it. And that's usually where the conflict is. So
did I hear you say that 80% we don't believe of what we're thinking, our thought process is?
80% of our thoughts are focused on what we don't want to have happen in our life. Like, I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be alone. People come to me all the time and I go, what do you want? And they'll sit and tell me all the things they don't want, because that's where the mind naturally kind of goes to the things they don't want. That's called fear, right?
Right.
A lot of people get paralyzed because their focus, their attention is on all the things they don't want to happen versus moving their attention on, hey, this is the outcome I want, and I'm going to begin to believe it's possible for me. But most people talk themselves out of things before they actually manifest them.
So if I change my thought from saying I want to be more physically fit as opposed to I don't want to be fat, I'm going to be better off.
Yeah, so I would say something to my subconscious, because think of your subconscious. It's 90% of your mind. It's like the genie in the bottle. So I would say something to my brilliant subconscious, like letting go of weight is getting easier for me every day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Do you see the difference?
Sure. So letting go of, okay, Now, can that be done with, right now, one of the things that I've been chatting about on the broadcast a lot is during the pandemic time, there's a huge amount of people that are scared, they're stressed, they don't know how to deal with this. Can we use this same type of process to kind of deal with that?
Yes, let's talk about that for a quick minute. So on my website, which you have scrolling, it's my name, it's cappipidwell.com. I have a free 10-minute sample subconscious session for COVID stress. So there's nothing, you don't got to buy anything. You just go there, put your name and email. You'll get an immediate MP3 access link. And if you just listen to that session, here's the power of working in your subconscious mind. Repetition is very important. You can't do something once and then your mind gets it. We learned when we were little how we got programmed in the first place was through repetition. So the products I create for people are really important. They lay down, you'll feel super relaxed. And when we relax, we go into the alpha, theta, delta state. That's when we actually access the subconscious. So if you think about your subconscious, it beats your heart over 86,000 times a day. It flows your blood. It's orchestrating everything inside. And yet most people go, Cappi, does it work? And it cracks me up because I tell people, your mind is at work all the time. Your brilliant brain and your body's always at work. Are you working it? And most people aren't. They're just on autopilot. So I would tell people, go get that free sample session. I've got a lot of cool free things on my website. I have a money checklist for people to start identifying if they're not making the kind of money they want, what some of those.
Hold on, Cappi. I want to talk about that when we come back. A money checklist. I like the idea of a money checklist. So we're going to talk about that when we come back with Cappi Pidwell. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. Find a home, best house hunting websites. We'll talk about that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And again, if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send find you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has the solutions for you. You just need to go there and check it out. How do I find a house online? It's pretty simple nowadays because there are a million different websites out there for you. I will tell you the best one I know of at the end of this report, but a couple of things you should do in advance. Number one, spend a little bit of time with a pad of paper. Maybe it's on a note, maybe it's an electronic pad on your phone, on your iPad or whatever. But figure out what you want. Create a list of the details, what you're looking for in a home. Helps you filter out locations that simply don't meet your needs. Some things to include on your list: price, location or zip code, bedrooms, home style, amount of land. Number two, divide your wants into must-haves and nice-to-haves. Where to find a house that meets every single personal preference. Make sure you know what you must have, such as 3 bedrooms or a price that's under whatever your budget is, so you can concentrate on those most important filters when searching. Browse a variety of top house searching sites. Don't stick to one. I'm going to tell you, though, that I have one that I think is the best. Number 4 is get pre-approved. I hate it when it bothers me when I see people that do this. They go out and they start looking at $700,000 homes and they've got a $400,000 budget. It's going to set you up for failure. When we've been talking to Cappi about mindset, could you imagine what it's going to do to your mindset when you say, okay, I just looked at that 4-bedroom, white picket fence, pool, half acre, 3,000 feet, and I find out that I can afford a loft, right? I'm going to the extreme right there, but your mindset, you go and look at those nice other houses, and you're going to say, gosh, this loft, even though it might be a great loft. I mean, I interviewed a gentleman that sold a $30 million 1-bedroom condo, right? So it could be very, very nice. But the whole idea here is be careful. Don't set yourself up for failure. And, you've got Realtor.com and a number of others, Homefinder.com. Here's the simple one, MySoCalLender.com. We've set this up just for you. It's free. There's no advertising. MySoCalLender.com. It's got all the information that you can want. You can put in every parameter that you can find, and it'll update you as frequently as you want, even to the point where if a property comes on the market right now, it'll update you in 20 minutes. It'll send you an email. MySoCalLender.com. We've got a lot of great real estate people that are involved with us there. That is Your Credit Matters, brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. We're chatting this morning. Cappi Pidwell is here with us, educating us, and I'm going to put some of her contact information along the scroll on our screen for you. But for those of you that are listening to us, maybe you are on our new affiliate, ABC News and Talk, KMET AM 1490, CappiPidwell.com, CappiPidwell.com. And we've been talking about mindset, and Cappi came up with something that kind of hit me between the eyes a minute ago, because I am one that's focused on earning money and helping others earn money. And you were talking about a checklist that you have. I think it's some sort of a money-making checklist, Cappi.
So one of the things I found, Ron, in helping people for almost 30 years now in their mindset was they would come to me after they'd have a breakthrough in something, and they'd say, Cappi, help me make more money. Can you help me with that? So back in 2008, I made a program called Mental Money Mastery, and I interviewed 21 of the wealthiest people around the planet and I study human behavior and people and their belief systems. So I put together a program called Mental Money Mastery and really help people understand you have a relationship to money. Everybody does. And some people that want to increase their results and yet they focus on worry or not enough or lack, there's a conflict. So I designed a free money checklist. And what the checklist is, it's just a PDF download. There's, I think, 10 or 12 questions on there to help you understand what is stored in your mindset. Where's your mindset set? And what most people do is they just try to pile new information on top of a limiting belief system. And they end up frustrated. They end up not getting the outcomes. And so the checklist is to help you identify, first off, which was what I said earlier, what do I believe about this? So if you just answer the questions, they're designed to help you dig into your subconscious a little and answer the questions that most people don't really look at when it comes to money. Most people are looking at the how to. Oh, I got to make more calls, or I got to get more listings. And I'm not saying you don't have to do those things. You do. But if your mindset is set to, okay, I can make 100,000 or 200 or 500 or 60,000, I don't care what the number is. Everybody has a relationship to money. So my goal is to help people change that internal temperature, if you will, and then they'll find that their business results follow very quickly.
That's amazing. And it's funny how you mentioned that, or not funny, but it's so amazing because I've heard people talk about the idea of, a friend of mine does this in the car business. He went from, they're doing cold call internet leads, and the people were all frustrated because they're trying to get 14 appointments. And he said, try and make 100 calls and get 100 no's. Mm-hmm. And when you change the mindset to something that you control, right? You can't control the idea of appointments. You can control the idea of making calls. Mm-hmm. Right? So if you change that target, the results end up being better from what I've been told. I mean, I'm not the expert in it. That's your world.
Well, I would use the analogy of, again, going to that person and saying, what do you believe about phone calls? I mean, how many people love to make phone calls? A lot of people don't like to make them. So if you change what you believe about it, what if you looked at your phone and started thinking of it as a cash register instead of somebody rejecting you? So once I can help somebody change their internal picture and perception, that phone becomes a very different vehicle for them. So that's how powerful our mind is. But people go, I'm not going to make calls. Oh, everyone tells me no. And guess what? They just don't want rejection. The average individual is told no over 60,000 times by the time they're 3 years old. So our subconscious is programmed. 95% of our mind is programmed by the time we're 18, and 80% of it by the time we're 8 years old. So we're walking around as adults with a lot of outdated data. So when I go into a company or a sales team or an entrepreneur and I help them, it always begins with upgrading their mindset. Then I give them the strategies and solutions externally to do. But I call it a dual dynamic. We want to work with the subconscious, have those breakthroughs, get clear. It's almost like taking old data out of a hard drive and I put the new data in, and then we create the systems and the solutions, just like I'm doing for Realty Pro 100. I'm revolutionizing the way we're doing real estate through education, through events on equity, how to leverage people's money. So I'm creating a system inside the company for the whole company to really grow and get 100 amazing open-minded mindset agents that are coachable and willing to learn at this level, because it will take the company to a whole nother level, which I've done for several companies and individuals. But mindset is critical to everyone's success, and I often say it's the biggest missing piece.
So what would I have to expect as a realistic time frame to make some of this transformation?
That is an excellent question. And I would tell everybody it is different because our mindsets have all been programmed different. The key is repetition. So think of a rock, and if you stuck a rock underwater and you just dripped water on it, if there was only a few drips, there really wouldn't be an indent in the rock. And sometimes people's beliefs are as stubborn as a rock. So we want to drip. And if that water dripped continuously on that rock over time, then there would be a hole in the rock eventually. And so that's kind of how I think of some of those stuck belief systems sometimes. So I can take a person and they can do one of my programs. I have different programs on my website available. I've got free stuff. I've got products people can purchase. I have a program called Explore Your Money Mindset. It's $197. It comes with a program. It's got a worksheet. It's got the subconscious session for you to start to clear out that clutter. And then, of course, I have more advanced programs. So the process is different for everybody, Ron, but I can tell you my average client gets remarkable results. 80% of my clients, I would say, would get life-changing results in 2 sessions with me.
2 sessions, wow. So we only have a couple of seconds left here, but I did want to get to the stress item that you mentioned, especially in this time. How often do I have to listen to that 10-minute sample?
I would say daily, and do it for at least 21 days, and you will see remarkable results.
Daily for 21 days. Okay, I'm gonna get on that one. I know a few people that'll benefit from that as well. Really appreciate all the great information, Cappi. If you want to get more information from Cappi, more about her products, again, CappiPidwell.com, or you can call me at 800-306-1990, and I'll put you in touch with Cappi. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and Sean for engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Let's go out and I can't be saved. Tides that I tried to swim against.